Welcome to another episode of BS. Hope you guys are having a great day. You know what time it is. It's time to watch another episode of me. Hope you guys are having a good day. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of news and topics and whatnot. And let's get started with our first topic of today. First topic is one of my third favorite team, my third favorite NFL team. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes. They're frustrating the hell out of me. They're frustrating the hell out of me, alright? Quite a few reasons. Doug Marrone, he's given me the biggest headache. The general manager, I don't know what the hell is going on. The ownership, I don't even know. The quarterback, they don't believe in the quarterback. They got issues with Leonard Fournette. Like, what are they doing? Their defense, they had to trade away Jalen Ramsey. They no longer have A.J. Bouye. He's with the Broncos. Jalen Ramsey is with the Rams. What the hell is going on? Like, seriously, the Jaguars fans, I'm frustrated. I'm not hearing good things. The only thing I can say good about my team is the defensive line, which we might be getting rid of Njoku, which is just great. Hopefully he comes to the Eagles though. I mean, they're one of my favorite teams, but the Eagles is my favorite team. Duh. So they're frustrating the hell out of me. Honestly, I have no idea what they're doing. Someone help me. Jaguars fans, if you know what's going on, if you know what they're doing, please let me know down in the comments because I'm getting confused. The thing that's frustrating me the most is Gardner Minshew. Why are you even like? I don't know. They seem a little not 100% convinced on Gardner Minshew, and a lot of people are, except the fans. Us, the fans, are really all into Gardner Minshew. I'm ready for him to be the franchise quarterback. It's about time we get over someone like Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert. You know, they weren't great guys. We need a really, really good quarterback, and I think he has the possibility to be one of the best in franchise history. We need a solid franchise quarterback. I feel like Gardner Minshew could be as good as Mark Brunell. He's definitely going to be better than David Garrard. But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why they don't believe in Gardner Minshew. He wins you games. The fans like him. He has an iconic mustache, the most iconic mustache in NFL history. I just don't see why guys don't believe in him. Analysts don't believe in him except the Zach Schaumler, the YouTuber, the Strong Opinion Sports podcast. He's like the only one that believes in Gardner Minshew. I believe in Gardner Minshew. I'm sure there's other people that believe in Gardner Minshew besides the Jaguars fans. Honestly, I don't understand why they want to get rid of him. I don't know. I don't want to say they want to get rid of him, but they don't seem all in on Gardner Minshew. But they're not liking when people talk bad about Gardner Minshew. Like with Leonard Fournette, the NFL personnel that works with the Jaguars, they came out and said that they were not happy when Leonard Fournette said that, and that's why he hasn't gotten his contract extension, because they don't seem like they're all in on Gardner Minshew. They're still like, yeah, he's going to be definitely the quarterback next year, but is he our franchise quarterback? I don't know. They don't seem like they're all in on Gardner Minshew. They should be all in. I mean, he's like Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Drew Brees. He's like all those guys combined. You know, the way he moves around the pocket, his accuracy is like Drew Brees, but it's not as strong as an arm. Andrew Luck, he has pretty good deep ball accuracy. I mean, I don't see why the Jaguars are not all in on him. I am. If Gardner Minshew doesn't end up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I could see him being the replacement for some. I could see him going to the Colts possibly, the Steelers, probably back up Ben Roethlisberger until he's done. Probably Ben Roethlisberger has like another 2 years left at least. Maybe even less. Yeah, honestly, or maybe even the Bears. That would be the perfect choice. He backs up Nick Foles like he did Dak in Jacksonville. He'll actually have a good offensive line there. Gardner Minshew. I could see him going to a lot of places, but I hope he stays with the Jaguars. I know it's a bad organization right now because everyone wants to leave. It's like I look on the news and someone else is leaving, and I'm like, what the hell was going on? Doug Marrone, another guy who's really frustrating me. He did so good in 2017, and now he doesn't even look like he's confident in the moves that he's making. I don't know if it was him or if it's management. All I know is he was pretty good in 2017. I feel like we were a little bit robbed in 2017 when the Jaguars went to the playoffs. So I don't know. He's frustrating me though. Why does everyone want to leave? I don't understand. I don't understand. Why does everyone want to leave? Jalen Ramsey, I get why he left. I don't get why Njoku. Why aren't they paying these guys, and why are these guys having like such bad attitudes towards the team? Like they seem like there's other reasons besides the contract extension too. Because contract extension and not being paid enough, like, I don't know. They should re-sign AJ Bouye too. What is going on? What is going on? Like, seriously. And why are they not paying the top elite talents that they have on the roster? Why are they not paying them? At least we have a solid defensive line. Like guys like Calais Campbell. Josh Allen, the guy we drafted. I mean, they're solid guys. It's just what's going on, you know? I'm getting frustrated as hell. Someone needs to get fired. Someone needs to be paying these players, and I'm tired with this like bull crap that's going on with drama everywhere. With everywhere I look in the Jaguars organization, there's always drama here and there. Leonard Fournette, why is he saying he wants Cam Newton? What's wrong with Gardner Minshew? Like, did he see what Gardner Minshew did last season? He helped, like, without Gardner Minshew, the team lost games. He's a good leader as well. I just don't know. There needs to be, like, something to, like, take control of the situation down in Jacksonville. Doug Marrone might get fired soon because he doesn't look confident at all. He looks like a shell of his former self. Their defense isn't that good anymore. Their defense is the weakest part. I mean, the offense is now better than the defense, and the head coach is a defensive-minded head coach. So without a good defense, I mean, well, at least we have Jay Gruden, though. We have Jay Gruden, the former Redskins head coach. We have Jay Gruden as the offensive coordinator. So there is progress there. And I'm sure Jay Gruden will be. He's a really, really good offensive coordinator back in Cincinnati when he was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals back in 2016. He led the year he was the offensive coordinator. The Bengals went to the playoffs, and he made Andy Dalton look really good. So Gardner Minshew is already a really good quarterback. He's definitely a better quarterback than Andy Dalton. So, I mean, if he can make Andy Dalton look good, I'm sure he can make Gardner Minshew look really good. Sorry. So, yeah, and they have a solid receiving core, but that's besides the point. I'm still frustrated with the Jaguars. I want to get some progress going. I want to see going in a good direction. I want to see them making it to the playoffs at least 2 years down the road, because I'm sure they're not going to make it to the playoffs with the way their roster is right now. You know what I mean? To be honest, the people that they should be getting rid of is Calais Campbell. They shouldn't be getting rid of Njoku. Like, one's younger, one has more potential. Calais Campbell is older veteran. It's time for him to go somewhere and win the Super Bowl for a team. So I say they should have let him go, even though he's really good. I think they should have let him go instead of possibly trading away Njoku. You know what I mean? Like, pay the people. You guys in 2017 had elite talent everywhere. 2018 is still kind of elite. You were still pretty solid on offense and defense. It's just Blake Bortles that dragged you down. Now in 2019, you just got rid of everyone. Like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Man. Some frustrating stuff there. All in all, they're frustrating the hell out of me. They're frustrating the living hell out of me, man. All right. We're moving on. We're moving on to something a little bit more debatey. Philip Lindsay, the head running back of the Denver Broncos, should be the starter over Melvin Gordon going into next year. Now, everyone has been saying, and it seems like the Denver Broncos thinks this too. They think Melvin Gordon is better than Philip Lindsay. I mean, they're different, but Philip Lindsay should be the starter going into next year. And here's why. So last year, Melvin Gordon did a holdout, and he wasn't that great. Even when he was doing the contract holdout that he was doing, he wasn't that great when he came back. Austin Eckler was better than him by all accounts. He was better catching, he was more versatile and more elusive. And I feel like the Broncos, if they start Melvin Gordon over Philip Lindsay, they're going to have the same problem. Philip Lindsay is a lot faster than Melvin Gordon, a lot more elusive, and he's better at knowing the offensive system going into next year. Melvin Gordon is he's a solid power back, and it's an okay receiving option, but that's about it. He's a good, solid secondary running back, second string. I mean, they're still pretty good running backs. I'm just saying, don't sideline Philip Lindsay. I want to see him get another 1,000-yard season, you know? Like, he was pretty good last season, and they seemed like they put Royce Freeman a little bit over Philip Lindsay, and I was just kind of like, what the hell are you doing? You know, they kind of split the snaps and stuff with him. Just put Philip Lindsay in. Let him just go berserk. You know what I mean? Philip Lindsay deserves another 1,000-yard season. He's a pretty good running back. I liked him. He's undrafted. I guess that's why they don't believe in him that much. Honestly, I don't know. But they seem like they're not so 100% all in on Philip Lindsay. He's one of the better running backs in the league. By far, he's one of the better running backs in the league. He's good at catching the ball. He's just a much better option than Melvin Gordon. And I don't start discrediting Philip Lindsay because he's an undrafted running back. He was the first undrafted running back rookie to make it to the Pro Bowl. He made it to the Pro Bowl in his rookie year, and he was an undrafted running back. That says a lot. And I think he could have had a better season last year, but it wasn't all statistical. It was about how many snaps he got, how many chances he got to play. And I feel like their best option, if they want to make it to the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl, they should have Philip Lindsay in as their starter over Melvin Gordon. He's a solid secondary, and I think they could have found someone else for a lot cheaper, maybe like Dion Lewis or someone. Or you know what I mean? I don't think they needed to go all in on Philip Lindsay. I mean, all in on Melvin Gordon. But they did what they did. Melvin Gordon, he should be the second string running back, not the first string. They seem like they're a little bit more leaning towards Melvin Gordon being the starter over Philip Lindsay, and that's just wrong, you know. He deserves a lot more. I hope he starts over Melvin Gordon. I hope he gets the most amount of snaps, because he has a higher ceiling than Melvin Gordon does at this point. He does. He has a higher ceiling. He knows the offensive system more. Their offensive system is lean towards faster running backs. They need a really fast running back, and Philip Lindsay is a really fast running back. You know what I mean? That's how I think their system works, and he's good depth, but I don't think he should be the starting running back over Philip Lindsay. So, all in all, Philip Lindsay should be the starter in 2020. He should be the starting running back. Moving on. All right. So, if you haven't heard by now, Patrick Mahomes got his $10 million. He has his 10-year deal worth $200 million. He's being paid $45 million per year at least for 10 years. You know the gist. I've said it last episode. But and the way he did it, I've had a lot of respect for Patrick Mahomes. The way he handled himself, the way He asked for the money. He didn't ask for so much because he could have asked for $7 million. He could have asked for $60 million. Trust me. If he had Dak Prescott, and if Dak Prescott was as good as Patrick Mahomes and had the same agent and had all the same circumstance, same mindset as Patrick Mahomes, he had all of it, I bet Dak Prescott would have asked for like $60 million. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott, I have absolutely no respect for him. He didn't get his contract signed. He is going to do the franchise tag for this year. He's probably going to go down the Kirk Cousins route. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have no respect for Dak Prescott. He's out of his damn mind. If this is his only option to play for the Cowboys, because realistically he doesn't have anywhere else he really wants to go. And the topic here is I have a lot of respect for Patrick Mahomes, but I have absolutely no respect for Dak Prescott. He wants to be paid $40 million. What has he done? Win a playoff game? He won a playoff game, and he lost two. Great. Such a great accomplishments there. I gotta say, he was pretty solid in his rookie year. He was. I saw something. I was scared for a little bit, and then I saw 2017, 18, and 19 season with Dak Prescott. Saw like Eagles two times a year. Then I was just bored. All the reasons why they won their games, the Cowboys against my Eagles, had nothing to do with Dak Prescott whatsoever. Unless you look back in 2016. If you looked in 2017, 18, 19, he had nothing to do with the wins. It was all the Eagles, or it was the Cowboys defense. It was Ezekiel Elliott, especially in 2019. Dak Prescott wasn't good. Wasn't good at all. Brought his team to 8-8. He somehow lost to my Eagles week 16. I was at the game. I saw the play. I could see the play. I could see all the wide receivers running. I could see them running their routes when they're open. And man, on TV, they don't show the whole thing, obviously. They don't show the whole entire field. They don't show where the wide receivers run to. And man, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, they were open a ton. And Dak Prescott never threw it to them. He never threw it to them. He had a guy wide open to the left, and it seems like he likes throwing to the right instead. I get it. He had a banged-up shoulder. I get it. But it's just a banged-up shoulder. All right? I've seen quarterbacks going through a lot worse and played a lot better. It seemed like to me, Dak Prescott really didn't freaking care. He didn't. 2019, he seemed like he was already done with the Cowboys. He's like, we're not going to the Super Bowl. What's the point? Yeah, I have no respect for Dak Prescott. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's definitely not worth $40 million. He's worth more like $20 million. Yeah, he's worth he's like as good. He's a little bit better than Andy Dalton. Just a little bit better. That's how good Dak Prescott is. I would rate him a little bit better than Jacoby Brissett too. Just a little bit better. But I kind of rate them around the same area. Dak Prescott, I don't understand how he hasn't made it to at least the NFC Championship by now. I have no respect for him. He wants $40 million. He's going on the franchise tag. He's going to play because what else is he going to do? He saw in the past how franchise tags, people hold out and stuff. They never end up doing well, except Emmitt Smith, but that's just the exception. I'm sure there's other players that did pretty good too. Anyway, yeah, I'm just done with him. I'm glad Patrick Mahomes got his money though. He got 45. Dak is not getting $40 million. If he looks anywhere else in the NFL, any NFL team, he's not going to be paid $40 million. I think the only reason why he's asking that much is because he doesn't want to play with the Cowboys. The Cowboys going into next year, they're just an okay team. They're just okay on offense. I mean, they're just okay on defense. Sorry, they're just okay on defense. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that Dak Prescott didn't get his contract signed. So then the Eagles could beat the Cowboys a lot easier. But now I'm sure the Cowboys are probably going to draft a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence or Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe get someone in free agency. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do something. Because Andy Dalton's not the answer. Andy Dalton is not good. He's just okay. He's like Dak Prescott. He's just okay. Yeah, I'm kind of rambling on now. Yeah, all in all, I got absolutely no respect for Dak Prescott. I got a lot of respect for Patrick Mahomes because he actually, yes, Patrick Mahomes did break the record, whatnot, but at least eventually Patrick Mahomes is going to get like lower on the quarterback scale when the cap salary goes up. Patrick Mahomes' salary is going to look small in the long run. So, yeah. All in all, I have a lot of respect for Patrick Mahomes and no respect for Dak Prescott. All right, moving on to the news. I've talked about Chris Jones quite a bit in the last couple episodes. Chris Jones got his contract. Congratulations on him. Congratulations. He got his contract worth $20 million over 4 years. It's not bad. I mean, it's not. He's getting paid $20 million per year over 4 years. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's not bad. It's like $80 million. $80 million contract plus advertising and whatnot. He's getting paid at least $20 million per year. He got the contract, and does he deserve it? I think he should. I think if I were the Chiefs, I would have let him play the franchise tag because he had injury issues last year, but he was pretty solid last year. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to get his contract signed, but like I said, they need to get Patrick Mahomes' contract signed before they could do Chris Jones, and Chris Jones took that very personally. But dude, you got the best quarterback in the league. You have to sign him first, and then they'll sign you. Just wait patiently. I didn't like the way he was talking about how I'm not going to play this season. You guys are disrespecting me. Whatnot. First off, it's a business. Second off, you had to pay Patrick Mahomes. You got to worry about guys like Tyreek Hill getting his contract extended, cutting Sammy Watkins' salary down just a little bit, having him take a pay cut. You know what I mean? So I kind of got pissed off a little bit because Chris Jones was acting like a little he was acting like a little baby a little bit of the way he wanted his money. And I understand he does deserve to be paid. I mean, he had issues last year with injuries and the year before with a couple of injuries. So I understand why they weren't all in on you right that second. So I don't know. I didn't like the way Chris Jones handled himself. But he got paid. Congratulations on him. Does he deserve it? That's up to debate. Yeah, so all in all, Chris Jones got paid $20 million per year over 4 years. He's probably going to be there for the rest of his career, most likely. Maybe he'll be part of another Super Bowl dynasty. I mean, maybe he'll be part of another Super Bowl win with the Chiefs. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But, yeah, he's going to be there for at least 4 years. Yeah, so pretty solid. All right. Moving on to news number 2. Oh, boy. We're going to be talking about AB, and maybe this is our last time talking about him because he said on Twitter that he is retiring. Now, that's a bunch of BS. No pun intended. What the hell was that? He just went out and said, I'm going to retire. It was kind of out of nowhere. You know, he just tweeted out that he wants to retire, and he said the risk isn't worth the reward. First off, what risk? Besides the coronavirus, which I don't think he cares about, what other risk is he talking about? Like, does he know he has CTE now? Because I haven't heard much about an AB in a while. Maybe he's gone back to becoming Antonio Brown, because AB and Antonio Brown are two separate people. Ever since Antonio Brown got hit in the head in 2017, he had a big hit in the head by Vontae Burnett, I believe. Sorry about that. Vontae Burnett. He got hit big time in the head, had a big concussion. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And ever since then, I think he had CTE ever since back from 2017. Yeah, he needs some help. So retiring from the NFL, I think, is a good thing because he needs some help because he's not all there. He seems broken. He keeps calling out all of his former teams and whatnot. He's saying whatever. So I guess he wants to retire. I don't know. I don't think this is the end for AB. I think that he's just trying to get some attention. Is he 100% there in the head? Who really knows? Who knows with AB these days? But I can say that he's not going to go to the Buccaneers if he does end up coming back. Or maybe he's just taking a year off. He's doing the Rob Gronkowski move. Just take a year off, then come back the next year or something like that. You know what I mean? So who knows what's going on with AB. I could say he's still the best wide receiver in the NFL. Even if he takes a year off, I'm sure he's still going to be the best wide receiver in the NFL. It's a shame that his mind is broken, but he still has really, really good talent and really good hands. So I honestly don't think this is the end for AB. I could see him coming back in like at least a year, or maybe he's just saying this for BS reasons. And once again, no pun intended. But maybe he's just saying this for nonsense reasons, and he just wants attention. Who really knows? I don't think this is the end for AB. He seems like he misses football way too much because he keeps tweeting about a bunch of crap every single week or every single day. He'll say something like, "Oh, I'm going to the Bucks. Oh, I might be going back to the Patriots. Oh, I'm sorry." And then another day later, he'll say, "Oh, I'm not sorry," to the NFL. Then he calls the NFL racist, and then he says the NFL is the best place to go. And he's just a mess. AB's just a mess. Yeah, I mean, he wasted the time of the Raiders. He wasted the time of the Patriots. I'm kind of done talking about AB. He's just a headache for everyone. So maybe him retiring is for the best, but I'm sure he's going to come back because he loves football way too much. So, yeah, all in all, quote unquote, he says he's retiring. But I'm telling you, you're going to see him at least either next year or the year after. He's also suspended. He's most likely going to be suspended due to his off-the-field issues and whatnot. So he's probably going to be suspended for eight weeks at least. So if he does end up playing next year, it's not going to be until like week 9. You know what I mean? But if he does come back, I feel like the best team he's going to go to is the Seahawks. He did work out with Russell Wilson this past offseason. So if he goes to any team, he's most likely going to go with the Seahawks or the Ravens if he wants to go with his nephew or his cousin Marquise Brown if he wants to do that too. He's either going to go to the Seahawks or Ravens most likely if he does end up playing in the NFL next year or the year after. So is he retiring? I say no. So we're probably going to see him next year. That's my final thoughts on that. All right, moving on to our last news segment of today. Now, this one's a good one. Randall Cunningham. If you don't know Randall Cunningham, then what is wrong with you? Randall Cunningham, the ultimate weapon himself, is finally doing something football related. He's finally back in the NFL doing something football related. He is the team captain of the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, I can't be more excited for this. I'm finally seeing my boy Randall Cunningham back doing something great football related. I always thought he was going to be an NFL head coach. I mean, he deserves it. He was the Taysom Hill of his day. He played punter, he played a little bit of receiver, he played a little bit of running back. He did a little bit of everything, but he was mainly known for being the quarterback, specifically the Eagles quarterback. He was the Eagles quarterback from 85 to 95. He was there for at least 10 years. He was a solid quarterback during his tenure in Philadelphia. One of the best quarterbacks of all time. Yes, I said that. You heard that correctly. One of the best quarterbacks of all time. He changed the position, the way that people think of the quarterback position. But he's finally doing something football related. And I always thought he was going to be a coach of something, quarterback's coach, possibly even assistant coach. But this is a step up. This is a step towards being a coach. He's going to be the team captain of the Las Vegas Raiders. So what that means? What's a team captain? It's mainly someone that goes into the locker room, gives them some advice, gives them some tips on what to do, and it's just more of a inspirational type of guy in the locker room. So he's gonna go to locker room meetings, say his whatnot, and it's a good. It's good. I like that because it's a step towards being a head coach. yes, it's nothing big, but at least it's something to do with the NFL. Because I always wanted to see him do something after he retired. Because, I wasn't alive, but ever since he retired, he didn't really do anything NFL related. He didn't become an analyst. I always wanted to see him do something. Once I became a fan of Randall Cunningham, I wanted to see him do something NFL related one day. And now he's finally doing something. He's going to be the team captain. Unfortunately, it's not with the Eagles, but it's with the Las Vegas Raiders, and at least that's NFL something. He's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders team captain. And, so people back in the day said he was always a great leader, great locker room presence. All the guys that had played with Randall Cunningham, coached Randall Cunningham, always said he was a great person to be in the locker room. And this is pretty great for the Las Vegas Raiders. Congratulations, Raiders fans. You get an inspirational guy. So I can't be I can't be more happier. I couldn't be more happier for this move on the Las Vegas Raiders behalf, and Randall Cunningham himself. He's finally doing something NFL related, and I'm excited to see what he can do with the Las Vegas Raiders being the team captain. Once again, it's nothing, oh my God, but it's a step towards a coaching role one day, and that's great. That's great for Randall Cunningham. He's finally doing something NFL related. All right, moving on to today's segment. Today, the main event, the final thing of this episode. All right, today's episode, we're gonna have the Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame segment. We're gonna be discussing players, if they should be in the Hall of Fame or not. If they're currently in the Hall of Fame, do they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Those kind of players. We got 4 players today, mainly. 2 not in the Hall of Fame, DeMarco Murray, Chris Johnson. 2 in the Hall of Fame, Champ Bailey and Steve Young. We're gonna discuss that right now. All right, the Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame. All right, our first contender of today. He played in the NFL for 6 years. Played on the Cowboys for 4, played on the Eagles for 1, played on the Titans for 2. Made it to 1 All-Pro in 2014. You know him, DeMarco Murray. All right, give this man a round of applause. Okay, so DeMarco Murray, he is painfully a schematic running back. Yes, in 2014, he ran for 1,840 yards. He ran for a ton of yards back in 2014. But the offensive line, it wasn't good. They destroyed the crap out of Tony Romo. It wasn't good. It was all right. It was a solid offensive line, but the offensive line schemed a way for DeMarco Murray to run a ton of yards. It wasn't him. It was the offensive line and the play calls and whatnot. Everything was schematic in a way for him to be really, really good. So it was barely DeMarco Murray at all. Yes, he had a run, obviously, but a lot of the offensive line and the play calling and the schematics of the scheme of the Cowboys back in 2014 made him run for 1,000 yards, 845 touchdowns, and had him run for 1,845 yards, and he also ran for 13 touchdowns. So they relied on him a lot back in 2014. But when he was with the Eagles, they didn't follow that scheme at all, and he sucked. He was pretty bad when he was with the Eagles. Pretty disappointing. When he was with the Tennessee Titans, he was pretty good in 2016. That's because they followed the scheme. In 2017, not so great. So, he's really, really painfully a scheme-heavy running back. He's a running back that he has one scheme, and you have to follow that scheme every single time for him to be pretty good. So he had a good career. He also didn't play long enough. He only played for like 6 years, and every year he was just good, except one year where he had Hall of Fame material. to be really good back in 2014. But other than that, he had a good career, just a good career. A lot of people say due to that a lot of people look at that 2014 season, and it seems like that's the only season that they look at, and they call him a Hall of Fame running back. He's not. He's nowhere near Emmitt Smith. He didn't change the running back position. He didn't change the way you looked at a running back. He just had one scheme, a really easy scheme if you look at the film. I don't know how NFL defenses didn't pick it up. You have to follow that one scheme every single time. It had all to do with the offensive line. And he just had a good career. And he's going into the Hall of Shame. All right, moving on to our next contender. He played in the NFL from 2008 to 2017. He played with the Tennessee Titans mainly for his whole career. One of the fastest running backs of all time. You know him, Chris Johnson. Give him a round of applause. All right. Chris Johnson. Yes, he did run for 2,006 yards back in 2009. He had really, really good career for his first 4 years in the NFL. He had a really good career. You can even say in the first 5 years. But other than 2009, he was, I don't want to say he was average, but he was just good. He was just good. Even in his rookie year, he was just good. And nothing, if you look at the film, it's like, oh my gosh, no, oh my, it wasn't oh my god in his years after the first 4 years. His first 4 years, if he kept that up for like another 4 more years, then yes, he could have made it to the Hall of Fame. Or at my Hall of Fame. But he's had injury issues. He has improved himself in other offensive systems. He really had only one thing. He relied on his speed. And his speed declined as he got injured more and more often. So once he didn't rely on his speed so much, he had to rely on his ball carrier vision, and it wasn't that great. So then he declined. That's why the Tennessee Titans kind of gave up on him after 2013. So, yes, he had a really good career. But he didn't change the way you look at a running back. Except that 2009 season, which is one of the best running back seasons of all time. Ran for 2,000 yards, man. 2,000 yards. Pretty good. But he didn't change the way you looked at a running back. He just had a lot of speed. I would say Barry Sanders was faster than Chris Johnson. Played on a decently talented team. So he wasn't a standout guy. Only in 2009 he was. But other than that, he did run for 1,000 yards consistently. So he was a consistent player, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame player. So he's another one where he's going into the Hall of Shame. All right. Moving on to the players that are in the Hall of Fame. Moving on to the 2 players that are in the Hall of Fame. Our first guy, our first runner-up. He played with the Denver Broncos mainly his whole career. He started off with the Redskins. Played a tough position of cornerback. You all know him. Champ Bailey. Give him a round of applause. All right. Champ Bailey. One of the best that's ever played the game. He played consistently amazing time after time after time. He first started out with the Washington Redskins. He was pretty good there. I tried looking up information on what happened between him and the Redskins. Couldn't find anything, but he ended up going to the Denver Broncos in 2004. I'm pretty sure it was a mutual thing. But, man, that's where he became a Hall of Famer. He was a lockdown guy. You would be scared to go up against him. And he played till he was 35, and he was still pretty good at 35. I feel like he was a second straight cornerback at 35 years old. He changed the way you looked at a cornerback. He consistently picked the quarterback off. In 2006, he picked off the quarterback 10 freaking times. My gosh. He consistently made it to the Pro Bowl. He made it to 12 Pro Bowls. He had 2 touchdowns in 1 year as well. 2 touchdowns as a defensive player. His whole career, he has 4 touchdowns, and he has 52 interceptions. That's Hall of Fame material. That's Hall of Fame material. You would be scared to go up against Champ Bailey. If you were a wide receiver, that was one of the only guys you don't want to go up against. He was always number one. He was a number one cornerback for a really long time. And you had other guys that came into play, but he was a number one cornerback for quite a few years. And once you're a number one cornerback for a good solid amount of years, then you're considered to be in the Hall of Fame. So yes, Champ Bailey deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he is. He is in the Hall of Fame. So yeah. Moving on to our next and final player of today. He played in the NFL from 85 to 99. He started off with the Buccaneers and ended his career with the 49ers. He was a left-handed monster in the NFL. You all know him, the quarterback Steve Young. Give this man a round of applause. All right, so yes, it didn't work out with the Buccaneers. He was pretty bad with the Buccaneers. Then he was with the 49ers. He backed up. He was behind Joe Montana for 4 years. And then in 1991, he had a chance to play. He threw for 17 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 10 games. He was really good. Steve Young was really good in 1991. And ever since that season, he was the starter of the 49ers. And he started with the 49ers for 8 years. And man, that was his time with the 49ers, that 8 solid years, was one of the best 8 years of any quarterback in NFL history. He's constantly winning. Amazing playoffs. He was amazing in the playoffs. I would say he's close to being as clutch of a quarterback as Joe Montana was in the playoffs. He was a really good quarterback in the playoffs. Even when, unfortunately, he had to retire, I don't want to say early, he was 38 years old, but he had to retire due to concussion. And I'm sure if he played some more, he would probably be still pretty good. But he played with, technically, he was with the 49ers for 13 years. Started the quarterback position for 8 years. He was consistently amazing, time after time after time. He was a really good quarterback. He retired in 1999 due to a concussion. It's a shame. I'm sure he would have had a bigger career. I mean, he does. He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But I'm sure he would have had even a bigger career if he didn't have to retire in 99 due to a concussion. But, yeah, he has a good winning record. He's consistently a winning quarterback. He made plays with his legs, like one of the first quarterbacks to make big plays with his legs. He was a decently fast quarterback, and he was good outside the pocket. He was a really good quarterback. Steve Young was a really good quarterback. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. All right, that's all we have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was a decent episode. I had fun making it. As always, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.